to have mass deportations with no exceptions, quite frankly, because also, too, the other aspect of this is seeing people waving Mexican flags on the streets of LA.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Mexico, they're pissed off that Americans are over there raising their housing costs, changing their culture, replacing the locals. Very fair, very valid protest. We have the same concerns over here.
Okay, guys, got Savannah Hernandez back here. We are at Student Action Summit. How's it been going for you so far?
Been good, Sean. I haven't eaten today, so my brain's working at half capacity, but let's do it.
Same here. Fasting.
Exactly.
Well, just found out you had an Epstein binder on hand back in February, March, whenever that was. I want to learn more about that situation and what happened.
Absolutely. So I actually was invited to this meeting at the White House. I thought that the email was a scam because I never get invited to stuff like this. This was a meeting with JD Vance, with the entire administration. And I usually say no to going to the White House or really making friends with any politicians, but obviously this was something that I could not pass up on. Now, the initial meeting was stated to us that we were going to be meeting JD Vance, like I said, various members of the administration, and we were essentially, as new media, independent journalists, going to be given access to the administration, which is something that truly has never been done before. So it was an incredible opportunity. As we are in this meeting, we meet with Caroline Leavitt, JD Vance comes in, we met with Kash Patel, and then, of course, Pam Bondi. She brings in this box of binders. And the day before, she had gone on Fox News and stated that she had, essentially phase 2, this big breaking news, the Epstein list that she was going to be releasing. And then we get these binders, which say Epstein Files, phase 1, most transparent administration in history. And the rest is also history. Now, I immediately, upon seeing this box and the binder itself, thought to myself, as a journalist, this is such a controversial story that Americans have been asking for. They've been asking for this information for decades. I don't feel right as a journalist having this information before the American public. And I immediately knew what Pam Bondi wanted. She wanted us to do a photo op with these binders. I did not take a photo with one because I kind of felt like this is what she was setting us up for. And what ended up happening was we had an embargo until 3 p.m., so we couldn't discuss it. Other people that were given the binder ended up had photos taken of them or took photos of themselves and posted them. I waited until 3 p.m. and kind of took more of the journalistic standpoint and was like, this was the meeting. This is what happened. We were told that day there was supposed to be a press conference. Once that press conference didn't happen, I put out a report and talked about what my side of the story was.
Wow. Were you allowed to talk about what you saw inside of them or no?
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, all of the information that we were given was essentially recycled old information. And the only bombshell in there was that Pam Bondi stated that various, different parts of the FBI were holding information from her and that she was going to be requesting that. So that was supposed to be the big bombshell there. But, what ended up happening was this huge controversy surrounding these damn binders that we were handed out. And keep in mind, too, that I think a lot of the people who proudly held these up have been huge supporters of the administration for years, had a blind trust in Pam Bondi, were excited about the transparency that we were going to be seeing surrounding these binders. Unfortunately, fast forward to today, and not only did Epstein not kill himself, but there was no client list and the case is closed.
Wow. It makes you wonder what was in those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really frustrating. And we're going to continue calling out Pam Bondi because she went on Fox News since I feel like since she became Attorney General, she's been on Fox News. She's been stating that they have thousands of hours of footage, that they have terabytes of data, that they have names, that they have flight logs, which they've had the flight logs all along. But it's like we were promised this since Pam Bondi got elected. And now all of a sudden we're just supposed to look the other way. Absolutely not.
You think she'll resign?
I hope she does. I mean, as of now, it's Kash Patel and Dan Bongino stating that if she doesn't resign, that they will be resigning.
Wow.
So we will see what happens there. Yep, that's just breaking now.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so that's where we are currently at. And overwhelmingly, the American people would choose Kash and Dan over Pam Bondi because for what we've seen from her so far, and I think this is probably the best analogy for Pam, is that if you're going to be the Attorney General for a president who got shot in the head, then you need to be a pit bull, not a Pomeranian. And we have a Pomeranian right now.
Absolutely. You still opting out of facial recognition at the airports?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, Sean, I didn't post this, but I should have. I walked through TSA for the first time in my life and I didn't have to take my shoes off, which more than anything just pissed me off because it just proved how arbitrary TSA rules have been this entire time.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm still doing that. I'm still getting bad looks from the TSA. But
All right, guys, Sean Kelly here, host of the Digital Social Hour podcast. Just filmed 33 amazing episodes at Student Action Summit. Shout out to Code Health, sponsor of these episodes, but also I took them before filming each day. Felt amazing. Just filmed 20 episodes straight and I'm not even tired, honestly. So Code Health, amazing products. I also take these at home, especially when I traveled. I used to get sick every time I flew, and I started taking that. First time, I haven't had a runny nose, knock on wood. One standout element, it's so easy. You got the travel pack here, but you could just take this, fit it in your pocket if you need to. Also, all natural, like only saline solution in there. So you don't got to worry about any crazy side effects or anything. Yeah, Code's unique. With supplements, there's a lot of who knows what's in those ingredients. Code Health, I haven't seen much like this, where it's just based off the codes that are in the saline solution. So I would say they're very unique. It's going to be the future of health and medicine. Code Health has been awesome.
Feel the drop and go code yourself.
it's like, you know what? I'm not going to stop until you guys remove the facial recognition software that I don't need to be a part of.
Right. Do you opt out of the full body scan too?
I don't, but I feel like I should, because it's like if I'm opting out of the facial scan, then I feel like that's the next natural progression of radicalization. You know what I mean?
Also, there's some health theories on what those things are doing to the body.
Dude, every single time I'm in that thing, I'm like, I'm getting freaking microwaved right now. It's horrible.
I get sick almost every time I fly, to be honest. I just saw the radiation. I don't know. My nose just starts running every time.
Vaxxed? I'm kidding.
Hell no. No, that's an insult. Just the childhood ones, which we didn't know at the time, right? When we were growing up.
I tell my mom, I'm like, I'm going to sue because I was vaccinated against my will.
Playing sports, you had to get additional ones, I think. So I got that. But
yeah, no, even to travel abroad. I remember being in college and they said that I had to get certain vaccinations to travel abroad. And I was like, okay, sure. And I just didn't do it. But, I'm so happy that we are in an age of transparency to an extent to where people are more awake about what's going on regarding what we're putting into our bodies, the food supply, TSA, how much of a sham it is.
Well, they just announced a new COVID strain. Did you see that?
No.
2 days ago. So there's a new vaccine that just got approved literally yesterday, I think.
Right.
For 6-month-old and above.
Yep. No, I did see that new, I think it's Pfizer, is it? Or Moderna? Moderna, that just got approved. That was heartbreaking to see because, of course, we are hoping with the FDA and I guess HHS that we are going to see more of that transparency surrounding the vaccines. But I also think that's a super touchy subject. And I kind of view it like the Epstein Files, right? Like we want this huge overhaul and reform, but I don't think it's going to happen immediately. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. You working on any big investigations right now?
As of now, I am trying to follow these ICE raids. I've been up in New York, most recently reporting on the Roosevelt Hotel, which has since shut down. This is one of the largest migrant processing centers in New York, officially closed. However, what's happening now is those migrants are now just being put into the homeless shelter. And Mayor Eric Adams just signed a $1 billion contract to fund that. And those homeless shelters also do get federal funding as well. So I'm really trying to put the pressure on about that because I think a lot of people are celebrating, okay, awesome, the migrant shelters are closing. But no, in fact, these migrants are just being hidden in plain sight. And then you have the homeless service employees that are specifically being told that not only is it illegal to share the immigration status of their clients in the homeless shelters, but also that even an ICE detainer is not enough to allow them into the facility.
Dang. You think Eric Adams will win against this new up-and-coming guy?
That's a good question. And, I've been in New York quite a bit. And I know what New Yorkers are like. And I think that a lot of them are like Nepo babies who have lived such these good lives that they are pushing for socialism. Like that's kind of the two classes of people that I see, right? It's like the Nepo babies and I'm going to be very honest with it. It's just like, I feel like the first generation children of immigrants who I don't feel are loyal to the United States of America and kind of have that dual loyalty to other foreign nations. So regarding Zohran, look, I can see why he's popular. He's young, he's got energy, and he's speaking directly to what people want to hear. Rent is too high. What's going on in New York? I think that's a very important thing. And I hope that Republicans take a page out of his book because whether they love him or hate him, he is clearly successful in garnering attention and utilizing social media well.
Where are you at with the whole amnesty debate with the illegal immigrants?
No amnesty at all. I want mass deportations. And I've been getting a lot of flack about that because I'm a Hernandez myself. I'm Hispanic. So I've been getting roasted online a lot about that. But to be honest with you, I'm doubling. I will triple down on it. And it's because I have followed illegal immigration from the border all the way into the United States of America. I think that one woman or child killed at the hands of illegal immigrants is too many. And what I...
The Tri-Light from TheraSage is no joke. Medical grade red and near infrared light with 3 frequencies per light, deep healing, real results, and totally portable. It's legit. Photo biomodulation tech in a flexible on-body panel. This is the Tri-Light from TheraSage and it's next level red light therapy. It's got 118 high-powered polychromatic lights, each delivering 3 healing frequencies, red and near infrared from 580 to 980 nanometers. Optimal penetration, enhanced energy, skin rejuvenation, pain relief, better performance, quicker recovery, and so much more. TheraSage has been leading the game for over 25 years, and this panel is FDA listed and USB powered. Ultra soft and flexible and ultra portable. On-body red light therapy I use daily and I take it everywhere I travel. This is the Thera O3 ozone module from TheraSage. It's a portable ozone and negative ion therapy in one. It boosts oxygen, clears and sanitizes the air, and even helps your mood. It's a total game changer at home or on the go. This little device is the Thera O3 ozone module by TheraSage, and it's one of my favorite wellness tools. In the sauna, it boosts ozone absorption through your skin up to 10 times, oxygenating your blood and supporting deep detox. Outside the sauna, it purifies the air, killing germs, bacteria, viruses, and mold, and it improves mood and sleep with negative ion therapy. It's compact, rechargeable, and perfect for travel, planes, offices, hotel rooms, you name it. It's like carrying clean energy wherever you go. This is a Thera H2 Go from TheraSage, the only bottle with molecular hydrogen structured water and red light in one. It hydrates, energizes, and detoxes water upgraded. The Thera H2 Go from TheraSage isn't just a water bottle, it's next level hydration. It infuses your water with molecular hydrogen, one of the most powerful antioxidants out there. That means less oxidative stress, more energy, and faster recovery. But here's what makes it stand out. It's the only bottle that also structures your water and adds red light to supercharge it. It's sleek, portable, and honestly, I don't go anywhere without it.
Always revert back to is the 2018 case of Molly Tibbetts, who was killed by an illegal immigrant who was a farm worker with no criminal record. This is why I think that we need to have mass deportations with no exceptions, quite frankly, because also, too, the other aspect of this is seeing people waving Mexican flags on the streets of LA.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Mexico, they're pissed off that Americans are over there raising their housing costs, changing their culture, replacing the locals. Very fair, very valid protest. We have the same concerns over here.
Yeah, we've taken over Cabo, right? Houses are like millions of dollars in Cabo, Mexico now.
Exactly. And, the people in Mexico are mad too because they're like, you need to come to Mexico and learn Spanish. Stop trying to speak English over here. And it's like, damn, agree. Come to America, speak English. Go to Mexico, speak Spanish. And I think that, we are seeing a lot of that same reflection. And I think it's a fair thing. If you want to preserve your country, culture, and people and have things affordable for that population, that's a very fair argument to make.
Yeah. And speaking of LA, I know you've done a lot of investigations there. Did you see the marijuana farm, what just happened there?
I did.
Crazy.
It's just absolutely insane. And I think the biggest aspect of this story is the fact that children were being utilized for labor purposes on this farm. This is something that's been happening for years at this point. A lot of people scoff at that 300,000 missing children number under the Biden administration, but it's very real. And I've spoken to National Guardsmen, I've spoken to Border Patrol, who themselves picked up these children who were thrown over the border wall, thrown into barbed wire in the middle of the night and abandoned by the cartel, as a way to get them into the country.
Jeez.
Other children who were utilized as a way to create families to allow people to continue to come in again and again and again. Same child being utilized, but their family, so they're immediately granted access into the United States of America. So truly, at the end of the day, look, I'm pro-life. I want children protected. And I am happy that these children are not being utilized for child labor anymore.
300,000 is no joke. Is that per year?
No, that was overall from the time that Joe Biden got into office. Those were official DHS numbers. They had started off at I think 120, and then it popped all the way up to 300,000.
That's like 75K a year. That's a lot of children.
And it's kind of unfathomable, right? But also, if you look at the numbers of people, we had a period of time in which you had 10,000 illegal immigrants coming into the United States in just one day. You had 250,000 coming in December of 2023. This was at the peak of the illegal immigration crisis, 250,000 in 1 month. So it seems unfathomable, but then if you look back at the numbers, and like I said, child trafficking is a very big thing. Human trafficking is a very real thing. It's a very lucrative thing for the cartels. So I just am hoping that we're finding these children. And like I said, too, the DHS themselves admitted to these numbers because the way that this program worked is they would have children that they would bring into the United States of America. They would drop them off with sponsors. I actually interviewed a whistleblower back in 2022 who was doing this.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.
It's the exact same thing. He came out and blew the whistle because the sponsors he was dropping these kids off to were not vetted.
Yeah.
So he was essentially taking children and dropping them off in New York with somebody who claimed to know them.
Wow. What's the scariest story you've been afraid to report on? Like, have you ever been fearful over your safety?
Safety, no, not quite. But I think in terms of, and you know what? I'll just be honest. I'll be the first one to say it. I think that a lot of people in the MAGA base are kind of afraid to have to speak out against the administration that we elected. But I think that it's an important thing to do. I'm a big fan of President Trump. I love what he's done. He has been a fighter for the American people and for our voices for years. Simultaneously, I think that there are a lot of people in his administration that overpromised and are not delivering. I think even with like sending weapons to Ukraine or bombing Iran, that's not something that we voted for.
Right.
And I think that it's been a transition for people who have really championed the America First MAGA movement to now have to be critical of the administration that they fought for years.
I think it's important, right? You don't want to just let them do whatever they want.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with that. But I think there's still like, I think it's hard for people. It's a transition, like I said, but I think it's making me feel better to see the amount of people that are still willing to be honest about where we're at as a country and continue to call for the promises that were made.
Yeah. How do you think overall he's been doing so far, Trump?
I think he has been doing the best that he can. I think that there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. For me specifically, illegal immigration and mass deportations is number one.
Yeah.
He just passed the big, beautiful bill to fund the mass deportations simultaneously. A lot of people are upset about the fact that that means that we are spending so much more money and that deficit is going up even more.
Right.
So I feel like it's a give and take with everything. I kind of want to wait, until the full first year is over to fully assess. But as of now, I think there's things we could be doing better on, specifically with the DOJ, specifically with those high-level arrests. MAGA's always calling for the deep state to be dismantled, and this is exactly what we're talking about. This Epstein debacle, I think, is the perfect cut and dry example of it, just because we were so misled. And also, too, this has been a very intricate years-long case that has to do with multiple intelligence agencies in multiple countries. And now all of a sudden, it's like, memory hole it, look the other way.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we very much need to focus in on.
That was the worst I've ever seen him handle something, the Epstein stuff.
A lot of people are saying that, and I think myself as well. It was kind of shocking to see, especially because of the lead up from Pam Bondi herself. And then also too, look, I love Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, I supported them, but also, they were also complicit in this cover up as well, because they also went on Fox News and kind of stated, well, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. This is what we saw, which if that is true, if you are going to be the most transparent administration in American history, then you need to back that up, because for years we were told by these very same people that Jeffrey Epstein committed or didn't commit suicide and was murdered.
Hopefully we get some answers. Do you believe college is a scam?
Yes and no. I went to school for journalism. I got my first job at InfoWars, actually, because I had a journalism degree. Simultaneously, I had the qualifications on paper, but I had no idea how to work productions. And I had to learn all of that by going into the industry. So if you have an in, it's all about who you know, not what you know, right? So if you have good connections and networking, I feel like that is more valuable than a college degree.
And I think you could get that without college these days.
Oh, absolutely. Exactly. Come to one of these conferences, shake everyone's hand, figure out what you want to do. Boom, you're networking, you're in. And honestly, too, we are so bad as a country at teaching American children about debt and how to handle finances and money. So when they go to college and they are essentially preyed upon by the loan industry, by the college industry, just in terms of these hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans, I think that's a big problem. And it's why we're seeing a lot of the discontent that we're seeing today.
Absolutely. So working for Alex Jones, what were some big lessons you learned from that experience?
To tell the truth, no matter what, I had a lot of people who, and I was even kind of nervous too when I was working at InfoWars, he was such a pariah. I was working there in 2018 when he got banned off of everything. So this was the first censorship.
I remember that.
Seeing it firsthand. At the time, it was very taboo to even work at InfoWars or associate with Alex Jones. I think that's kind of where I learned loyalty in politics. Not many people are loyal in this industry.
Right.
And Alex has a big heart. He really cares. I see that. He works very hard. He believes everything he's saying, whether it sounds crazy or not. Like, he truly does believe what he's saying. And he's able to go on camera and admit when he's wrong. That's something that I've always taken from him. And I think it's one of the most important lessons that I've learned, is just to like own up to your mistakes, be unapologetic, be truthful at whatever cost that might be.
Yeah, that was the nastiest cancellation I've seen because it was on so many fronts. The lawfare side was wicked. It bankrupted the company, right?
Yeah, I mean, they try to hit him with $1 billion lawsuit. It's just, and by the way, too, I think this is the best point that I've ever heard about this. The average person does not know the name of the shooter at Sandy Hook, but they know that Alex Jones is associated with it, which to me, I feel like we should at least know the name of the shooter, and that should be common knowledge because this person went and murdered children out of school.
I'll be honest, I don't know the name of the shooter. I just know Alex Jones posted about it.
Exactly. So again, he's come out, he's apologized. We've all, I think in media, learned lessons from seeing other people like Alex talk on media, which is a good example and lesson as to how we can be better, what we can do. And then, like I said, more importantly, to come forward and on camera, admit to your mistakes when you make them.
Yeah. Who did you look up to in this investigative space when you were getting started? Was it Alex?
Probably Tucker. I really love Tucker. I still do. He's like the one person I fangirl over, which is so embarrassing.
He's crushing it.
But he's great. I love Tucker. I think that he's so unapologetic as well. And I think that he's done a really good job because people put themselves into boxes so often of like, okay, well, if you're a journalist, you have to do this, you have to say this, you have to be this way. And Tucker's like, pardon my French, but fuck that. I'm not doing that. And I love that. And that's something that I've always tried to take away from him, is to just be so far away from the industry norm that you're so successful in paving your own path. I think that's so important for independent journalists.
He's changing the world, man. Interviewing world leaders, like that's never really been done, right? In US media.
No, it has over periods of time, but the difference is previously, if you interviewed the president of Iran, the media would be like, oh, this is great journalism. And now it's like, you're being paid by Qatar, you're being paid by foreign governments. And it's like, well, if we're in wartime, we should probably at least hear out the other side before we go and bomb them at the expense of American soldiers and American lives.
Right. Where can people find you, Savannah, and keep up with you?
Go follow me on X at SavSays and on YouTube at SavSays as well.
Awesome. Check her out, guys. Peace.